This is James Kalm, the guy on the bike. Welcome you all back for another half-ass production, and we're here in the heart of Williamsburg. We're going to go into the Pierogi gallery. Oh, geez, there's James Sienna.
Did you go to Fred Valentine's?
Orange Swan. We're going to go in here and see a show by David Brody. And the show that we're going to take a look at is called Journey to the Center of the Earth. This piece is titled Ramparts 17, oil on linen, 30 by 36 inches. And I've been watching David's work probably for about, I don't know, 10 years now. And, oh, there's the artist right there. This is titled Gordo. But a lot of the early work that I saw by David was all drawings and animated videos. A lot of this work was dealing with his isometric views of, I don't know exactly what you'd call it. It's kind of somewhere between conceptual mathematic forms and architecture. But a lot of the early drawings that I saw were also fairly large. This piece is titled Nod Number 8. A lot of this is on raw linen. A lot of his kind of khaki or beige tones are just the straight linen. He's kind of juiced up his palette a little bit here too. Well, this must be the title piece of the show. This is titled Journey to the Center of the Earth. And it's 60 by 50 inches. And although these are abstractions, you do get a sense of kind of ruins or something. Let me read a little bit from the press release. Brody takes his time to develop abstraction that verge on representation and hover between architecture, biology, and geology. Perspective lines draw the eye. What is up and down, what is receding and protruding is always in question. Yeah, and in that way I was kind of thinking that a lot of his previous work that I've seen made me think of some of Escher's pieces. Well, this piece is titled Goblet of Fire. Wasn't that a Harry Potter movie? Well, it does have a kind of cinematic quality to it, atmospheric. Makes me think of the Fritz Lang Metropolis, maybe. He's also doing something with sort of dragging his half-dried brushes on there, getting a combed-like effect on some of these areas. Well, David's got a pretty good turnout here tonight. I've seen some of the local art world luminaries. There's Amanda Church. Oh, there's Bruce Pearson and James Esper. This is titled Rubble of Its Own Debris. And this one you have a much higher horizon line. Like I said, he does use a lot of, or leave a lot of raw linen. And that's kind of the overall tone of the pieces. Oh, we're here in the back room. There's Larry Walczak.
Oh no, we're on camera right now.
This piece is titled "I Am the Eggman," and I guess that comes from the title of a Beatles song. It was on the Sgt. Pepper's album. A lot of this brushwork is really kind of dry on this unprimed linen. What I like is shot of red here up in the corner. Okay, now I'm going to try to snag the artist here. David Brody, congratulations. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the show?
These are paintings that I began, the title painting, Journey to the Center of the Earth. I don't know who I'm looking at. Journey to the Center of the Earth I began on January 1st, 2007. And it's the first time I worked with oil paint in about 15 years.
Right.
And I had been working with wash on paper for about 4 years. And before that, hadn't been doing any painting for a couple of years. So it was a big foray, all of a sudden, to bring in color, to bring in canvas, to bring in oils, and much larger scale, much larger size. And as soon as I touched this raw linen, it's actually covered with the size.
Right.
With oil paint, I immediately knew that this is what I was going to be doing for a long time. Just that kind of feeling. So that painting I began in 2007, and I actually have taken it out and worked on it, sporadically.
So at this point, that's like almost 5 years ago, yeah.
But some of the other paintings were just happened much more organically and quickly and easily, and all the paintings, there's a variety of degrees of consternation, but there always has to be a little bit of a crisis in the paintings.
Absolutely. Now this is interesting you're talking about this, because I've been watching your work for probably, I don't know, it was 7, 8, 9 years. I've seen it at Larry Walczak, showed it at some different shows and stuff. But the early work that I saw was all mostly drawings and works on paper. Why the oil painting?
Well, I was always painting. I've always been a painter first and foremost.
Really?
I began a drawing practice on the side, whether it's making very loose, improvisational, abstract paintings in acrylics. The drawings were based on isometric grids.
Right.
As a counterweight to getting lost in the vortex of painting. So the grid drawings were rational, where the paintings were irrational, and that gave me a sort of counterbalance. Those grid drawings turned into a practice of doing these large wall drawing installations, and from there they became 3D video works, virtual 3D
Yes,
video
I
works.
remember.
So that aspect of my work was going on alongside the paintings for a while, but I wasn't, I didn't have as many opportunities to show the paintings. So that's just what people saw. And at a certain point, I got very involved in doing the video animation stuff, and it kind of sucks your brain a little dry.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a full-time job.
Stuff. You get into computers, you get into video, and all of these technological things. You never even solve these problems because the technology is constantly evolving, and so you're never expert enough to really be on top of it, and that begins to take too much of your attention. I still like the idea of animation. I still like the idea of rational drawings, but I had missed the irrational immersion of painting, and so as I was saying, the gouache has got me back into that. There may be a time when I get back into making animation, but right now if I'm not
happy
painting,
being a painter.
Painting, and then I'm writing. So
yeah, that was what I was also going to ask you about that. You're also doing a lot of art criticism or maybe art writing.
Yeah.
How does that hook up with your art practice, your painting and drawing and video?
It's actually been really interesting, and but it is a different part of the brain, and it does take a lot of, it's every bit as unsolvable a problem as painting for me. So
It's also a crisis when you're doing the writing.
It's very crisis. And someone is making faces. I did that once to somebody. Maybe it was you.
Ward Shelley.
But anyway, between between the time spent in the painting, the time spent in the writing, I don't have time unless I get a MacArthur grant to hire somebody to assist me with the animation. That's going to be on the sideline for a bit.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
Maybe it just needs to be fallow.
Okay.
So I have no complaints. It's nice to have the work up on the wall. A beautiful gallery.
All right. Well, congratulations, David. The show looks good. And thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, now we'll take a look at a suite of his gouaches. It's interesting the way they've got these presented. It's gouache. And that looks like it's 300-pound arches. Looks like it's a rough. It's 30 by 22 inches. It's titled Crypt 13. Well, now that I'm looking at these, I also get kind of a surrealist reading on some of these. This is crypt number 12. Like a Piranesi, maybe mixed with the Gustave Moreau. And this is James Kalm reporting on David Brody's journey to the center of the earth here at Pierogi on North 9th Street in the heart of Williamsburg. Thanks for watching, folks. And thank you, Kate.